A short story with a powerful message about success and failure. Success and failure are two words that often define how people see their lives. From a young age, we are taught to chase success and fear failure, as if one is light and the other is darkness. But life is never that simple. Sometimes failure teaches us more than success ever could, and sometimes success without wisdom becomes a silent failure of the soul. This story is about an ordinary man with an ordinary beginning, whose journey through repeated failure slowly reshaped his understanding of success. It is not a story of instant victory, but a story of patience, self-awareness, discipline, and inner growth. More than anything, it is a reminder that success is not a destination, but a way of living. The boy who wanted more. Daniel Carter was born in a small town where life moved slowly and dreams were often buried beneath routine. His father worked long hours at a factory, and his mother managed a small grocery store attached to their house. They were not poor, but they were never comfortable enough to stop worrying. From a young age, Daniel felt a quiet hunger inside him. He watched successful people on television, read stories about entrepreneurs, leaders, and inventors, and imagined himself standing among them one day. He promised himself that he would not live a small life. At school, Daniel was average. He was not the smartest student, nor the most talented, but he worked hard. Teachers often told him, effort matters more than talent, and he believed them. Yet, as graduation approached, reality began to challenge his dreams. The first failure. Daniel applied to several universities, hoping to escape his small town. When the letters arrived, his hands trembled as he opened them one by one. Rejection, rejection, rejection. The final letter offered him admission to a local college he had never wanted to attend. That night, Daniel sat alone in his room, staring at the ceiling, feeling as if his future had already disappointed him. For the first time, he tasted failure. He told himself this was only a small setback. But deep inside, doubt began to grow. Chasing success the wrong way. In college, Daniel became obsessed with success. He measured it by money, recognition, and approval. He chose a major not because he loved it, but because it promised a high salary. He worked part-time, studied endlessly, and sacrificed friendships and sleep. When others rested, Daniel pushed harder, believing exhaustion was proof of progress. But despite his effort, his grades were average, and his stress was overwhelming. He compared himself constantly to others and felt like he was always behind. Success, it seemed, was running faster than he could chase. The second fall. After graduation, Daniel landed his first job at a corporate company. At first, he felt proud. He wore expensive clothes, posted motivational quotes online, and told himself he had finally made it. But inside the office, reality was harsh. His boss demanded perfection. His colleagues competed instead of collaborated. Mistakes were punished, not corrected. 1 year later, during a company downsizing, Daniel was called into a meeting. "We're letting you go," his manager said calmly. Daniel walked out of the building carrying a box of personal items and a heavy heart. His second major failure felt deeper than the first. Rock bottom. Unemployed and ashamed, Daniel returned to his hometown. He avoided old friends and felt embarrassed in front of his parents, who welcomed him without judgment. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Daniel lost motivation. He questioned his worth. He wondered if success was meant for people like him. One evening, his father sat beside him and said softly, "Failure doesn't mean you are weak, it means you are learning something you don't understand yet." Those words stayed with Daniel. A change in perspective. Daniel began reading books not about money, but about mindset, discipline, and purpose. He learned that success without fulfillment is empty and failure without reflection is wasted. He started small habits, waking early, exercising, journaling, and learning new skills. For the first time, he stopped chasing success and started building himself. Failing forward, Daniel tried several small projects. Some failed, some barely survived. But this time, failure did not break him. Each mistake became a lesson. Each setback became feedback. He learned patience. He learned resilience. He learned humility. Quiet success. Years later, Daniel built a small business based on skills he had slowly developed. It was not famous, but it was stable. It allowed him freedom, peace, and growth. People began calling him successful, but Daniel knew the truth. Success was not the money or recognition, it was the man he had become. Redefining success. Daniel started mentoring young people. He told them, failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of it. He taught them to respect the process, not worship the outcome. The final lesson. Looking back, Daniel realized that his failures saved him from becoming someone empty and lost. Success, he learned, is not about winning every time, it is about standing up one more time than you fall. Conclusion. Success and failure are not enemies, they are teachers. Failure builds wisdom, success tests character. When you learn from both, you do not just succeed, you grow, and growth is the greatest success of all. End of story. If you want this story expanded further to a full one-word version with deeper character development, dialogue, and emotional detail, it can be continued seamlessly.